So we are starting off the psalm today. So I get the privilege of opening up with what could be considered the gateway psalm, Psalm chapter 1. Psalm chapter 1 and chapter 2 are, by some scholars, considered the gateway psalm, and it kind of gives you an intro to the whole book of Psalm and the themes. But we'll get there. Let's just open up in prayer. After VBS kids singing, I feel like we could just close it and go home, do communion, and the shepherd, my shepherd. So let me open up in prayer, and as we celebrate what God has done at VBS and in what He is doing in those kids' lives, I do want you to get somewhat comfortable because you got me for the next 37 minutes, and I want to unpack some things from the book of Psalm. Sound good? You ready? Buckle in. Let's pray. Lord, we just ask for your presence to be here in a great way as we open up Psalm 1. Lord, I pray that you would reveal to us what it is that you have for each person sitting in a seat today who has chosen to come and worship you, or to find out and try to ask questions and to figure what decisions they should make with you. I pray that you would come. We invite you, Holy Spirit. God, we invite your presence. Jesus, would you be here? And I pray that your kindness would be felt and that your kindness would lead those to repentance who needs to repent. And Lord, I pray that you would give the church wisdom to hear from you, the patience and the humble approach to receive it and then to walk it out. And Lord, we ask for your help in all of these things. In Jesus' name, amen. So, to be honest, I get to preach Psalm 1. It's exciting for me. Psalms is an awesome book. It's one of my favorite books. And I've been, I got saved at 13. I'm 46 now. I know I look 26, but I feel 26, but I am 46. I consider myself in my prime. Got saved when I was 13. And I'm having a lot of fun with life. I'm enjoying my life because I'm following my God, my good shepherd. And I started this walk a long time ago. And I'm the youth pastor here at Bow Down Church. And I've worked with kids, students for 26 years now. And so as I am in the back watching our babies sing and about to preach this message on Psalm 1, which is all about to pass. And basically, you could sum a lot of Psalms up in this way: the righteous way and the unrighteous way. And that's one of the big ways you could sum it up. But basically, to pass, which path you're going to take. And so working with kids for 26 years now, I've seen a lot of kids. They've taken the right path. They've grown. They're now producing fruit, and they have been producing fruit. But I've also seen kids take the unrighteous path, the ungodly path. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. However, to kind of get you all started with this idea of being a youth in church, VBS, growing up in church, I picked something up from Five Below, which is my kids' favorite store this week. And what I picked up from Five Below is it's the healthiest vegetable you can eat. It's called Boston baked beans. And so there's a reason I picked this up. So it's not a vegetable. I'm tricking you on that. It's candy. It's sugar in a box and nicely packaged. So when I was born way back in 1980, and I was growing up in the 80s, Jordan, this box was about this big and this wide, and you could have got it at the gas station for 10 cents. Anybody remember Boston baked beans and the 10-cent boxes when you were a kid? Okay, all of my OGs are shaking their head. They know what I'm talking about. So we would go, when I was a kid, my family would pile up in our family station wagon. It was blue. We called it the Blue Devil. And we didn't know if it was going to start and get us to church or not. So we would pile up in my dad and mom's blue station wagon. But on the church, we had this every Sunday morning traditional thing we did. We would stop at the gas station, and we would go in the gas station and find the candy aisle for church. And so with our 10, 20, 30, 40 cents, you could get a pocket full of candy back then. Now that's not possible, but you could get a pocket full of candy, and I would go in and I would save my money through the week, and we would go in, my brothers and sisters. I had 2 brothers, 2 sisters. I was in the middle, and we would go in the gas station, fill up our pockets with candy, and go to church. So I'd be at church the whole time the speaker's speaking. I'm not listening to a thing he's saying. I'm just one at a time getting my candy, Tay-Tay, out of my pocket, always staring up at the rafters and lights, trying to figure out how they were made, and looking at the architecture stuff, everything I could do except listening to the preaching and singing, which never made sense to me. And the pastor, I grew up in the Bible Belt, so you need to know that about me. I grew up in the Bible Belt, so church services ran longer, and the altar calls ran twice as long as the church service. And so we had 3 services a week, and so it was like a way of life. However, as a kid growing up in the church, going and getting little candies and being at the church, figuring out who the candy lady was, because every church had a candy lady. I'm not sure if Bowdown has a candy lady, or man, it may be open, so if you want to be the candy lady or man, you might want to run with that, because the kids will find you every week, and it's a great way to disciple. Give them a Bible verse and give them your candy. I would go into church with motivation. We're going to get some candy, and then I would sit there, and I would just be in the atmosphere. I would be in the event of the service. We would become friends with students, and then we would go to things like VBS. And God always has a special way of speaking to kids at these events. And then we would go to camp, and God always has a special way of speaking to kids at camp. We're going to camp in a couple weeks. We're excited about that. But how many of you guys, being older, if you're older, how many of you guys remember God speaking to you at a VBS or a church camp back in the day? A lot of hands. There's kind of hidden hands. Another question. Is there anyone's life that was totally changed in here from a VBS or church camp? Oh, wow. There's a lot of hands. So, hey, can you throw me that water? I'm already getting dry mouth. I shouldn't have drank all that coffee. Thank you. Appreciate it. So the reason I asked that is because with Psalms, did you guys see that thing try to attack me? With Psalms and David is a good portrait of someone where they had a moment with God, and God spoke to them, or his presence affected them. And the reason I ask that is because a lot of times kids in church services, in VBSs, special events, trips, and camps, the Lord will go out of his way to begin revealing himself and start pulling his kids and helping them understand his heart. I saw a young man last year battling depression be healed of that at camp. Found him in the back of a service, curled up like a baby, crying and weeping, hours. And God healed him at a church camp. God does things like that. And with this idea of 2 paths, I've seen kids take the right path. I've seen people take the wrong path. And I've had friends who I thought would never walk away from the faith. Walk away from the faith and stop believing, and stop trusting. So this message comes from a place of, I really want you guys to understand the fight that is behind these 6 verses in Psalm. And so with that, let's just open up and we'll read these 6 verses and then we'll jump into some unpacking of these 6 verses. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither, and all that he does, he prospers. The wicked are not so, but are like chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. So these are 6 verses here in Psalm chapter 1. I'm going to give you a little bit of Psalm overview, and then we're going to jump into those. And so I said the right path, the wrong path, the worldly path, or the kingdom of God way. This is the 2 opposing views that you're going to be continually faced with all through these 150 chapters of the book of Psalms as we go through Psalms the next 10 years. I'm just kidding. We'll go to the next one. It is known as the Bible's hymn and prayer book. Psalm is the Bible's hymn and prayer book. There was a time in my life where I felt the need. I prayed through the entire book on my knees, but like not at one time, but like daily as I was going through something. So it is the Bible's hymn and prayer book. Like stated, there's 150 books written over several centuries. You have multiple authors included. Now, chapter 1 that we just read, I'm just going to propose that David wrote chapter 1, because in Acts chapter 4, we're told that David wrote a phrase that's in Psalm chapter 2. So it's most likely David did write Psalm chapter 1, but you're going to have multiple authors like Asaph, sons of Korah, Solomon, and others. And the book itself is divided into 5 different books, and the chapter breakdown is on the screen. And like I said, Psalms 1 is the gateway. The major themes: worship and praise, trust during hardships, repentance and forgiveness, God's justice and righteousness, thanksgiving and gratitude. Prophetic undertones of the Messiah are seen continually. And then there's God's kingdom over creation. So there's a lot of God's kingdom being established through Jesus, like that kingdom idea and mentality and talk happening throughout the Psalms. There is this amazing creator. He is the king. There is a broken creation, and they need to get back in alignment with what the king needs them to do. There are 2 paths to get to that place. So 2 paths leading 2 very different places. One path is the path of the godly, man and woman, and one path is the path of the ungodly or the wicked person. And book 1, which is chapter 1 through 41, can really be summed up in a theme: choose God's way, God's way. And so most of the Psalms will be written by David, and there is this huge focus from David on personal faith, trust in his times where he's not sure if he can trust, or hard times, or just the times of unknowing, where you're just waiting and trying to figure out, oh, what are you doing, God? Those times he focuses on trust. There's ideas of repentance and worship, like I said, and then the righteous versus the wicked. And so in your personal struggles, Psalms is a very, very helpful book. And this is important because it's been stated, and I'm sure you've heard before, no one gets out of life alive, meaning A lot of you are either in battles, going into battles, or coming out of battles. So you're going to go through some hard stuff in life. And Psalms is a wonderful book to build your faith in that will help you grow in trust and do the opposite of diminishing faith or giving you a lack of trust. And so we read Psalms 1, and there's this idea of this wicked way that could be taken or listened to, wicked advice. So let's look at this again. Blessed is the man, happy or favored is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, advice of the wicked, instruction of the wicked, the way of the wicked. So blessed is that person that avoids not listening and not following that path. Nor sits in the seat of scoffers, or nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. So think in that regard to, all right, there's this challenge here to not become like this scoffer, this sinner, this wicked person. Don't make this a way of life for you. Avoid it. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. So as opposed to the wicked's instruction, advice, and way, the blessed man who delights in God's way, God's instruction, and what God is trying to get that person to dwell on, to be sitting in and walking in, that person will be blessed. So his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates on it day and night. So there's this continual, this is the focus. This is where my mindset's at. My mindset is on this righteous way, this righteous God, this righteous King, and that's where my mindset's falling day and night, repetitively, continually. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in season, and its leaf does not wither. So there is a prosperity, a prosperous thing happening for that person who is focused and meditating, concentrating on God's instruction, God's way, God's advice, God's counsel, the right way, the right path. When you're meditating on that, when that's on your mind continually, there is a prosperous thing happening. And so there's fruit coming from that. So it's important to understand that. So avoid wicked ways, living, advice, instruction of the wicked should be avoided. So one of the things that you could do is we could start praying, I could start praying, you could start praying, God, give me discernment to know who to listen to. God, give me discernment to know what I need to cut off. Give me discernment, God, so that I can have the right things rolling around in my mind. Give me discernment to put up my guardrails, my safeguards, to stay away from that stuff that's going to lead me astray. God, give me the ability to think deeply about you and about your ways and to consider the right path in everything I do and in everything I say. Lord, remind me that I will be held accountable for every idle word that comes out of my lips, and that my lips and my words have the power to bring life or to produce death in an environment. God, show me what it is I need to cut off and not listen to so that it doesn't come into my mind and begin to lead me in a wrong manner, in a wrong way. There's a spiritual war, a spiritual fight going on behind the scenes for your heart, for your mind. Do you guys remember where we're told in 1 Samuel and in Acts that David was a man after what? So that's something that's not just said about a lot of people in the Bible. That's a very unique thing. If you ask Israel, if we go to Israel, if we all pack up in a plane and go over to Israel right now, that would be fun if we all went to Israel together. Could you imagine if we all went to Israel for 2 weeks? Man, we would be like the best friends ever. We would eat. We would have so much fun. But if we went to Israel, And we would ask anyone, who's the greatest king that ever was king over Israel? Who they going to say? Most likely, they're going to say David. Like, his legacy lives on. He built a reputation. And 2 weeks ago, I preached on stature. And, like, out of Ephesians, like, stepping into this stature and this challenge to become more like Christ. This week, I want to focus on reputation. And we're looking at reputation through the eyes of a shepherd boy named David, who is someone who is known to be someone whose heart was after God's own heart. Very different. I think about how that could have happened. What would have set him apart? Like, he's just someone from the tribe of Benjamin. Was he from the tribe of Benjamin? Judah. Saul was from Benjamin, the ravenous wolf. That's what Benjamin means. So he's from the tribe. Thank you. I'm so glad you corrected me on that. Everyone was going to, except that one person that said Judah, was going to go home with their own idea. He's from Judah, tribe of Judah. And what sets him apart to be the greatest king that Israel ever had, to be someone after God's own heart? Well, let's think about this. David started off as a what? Shepherd. So what's he doing? He's shepherding sheep. Yeah. So he's shepherding sheep. And what else do we know about David as far as talents? What could he do? Who said that? Was that you? Who was that, Brett? Oh, you? He could throw rocks, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Who said that? Musician. He's a musician. So imagine David, young guy, shepherding his sheep in the wilderness. And he's got his instrument, but he's with his sheep, and his job is to shepherd them, get them to water, get them to food, and keep them safe and protect them. And so it's him and his sheep and the stars, right? So we can, based off of the story of David that you read in Samuel, and if you don't know the story of David, I really would encourage you this week, to really jump into Samuel and read through the story of David as he's a shepherd, and then he's in between. He's anointed, but it takes 15 years or something before he actually steps into that place he's anointed for. So read the story of David, but he starts off as a shepherd boy, and he's protecting sheep. And so a few things that's important here to just think over, and ask yourself, how is it that he developed such a relationship with God and such a closeness with God that through his whole life, he is consistently the type of person that is dependent on having God in his corner and being on the right path, having God's favor, having the Spirit of God, where he asks and begs God, don't take your Spirit away from me, after he falls into sin. And so he's just an important guy and someone to understand as to, all right, we've got someone who is a man after God's own heart, the greatest king in Israel, and is well known, but he wasn't perfect by any means. And as you read through Psalms, you're going to see what I mean by that. But he's not perfect by any means, but he is a shepherd. And so these kids are up here. They were pointing to their good shepherd and singing about their good shepherd out of Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. He is with me. His rod and his staff, they comfort me. Prepares a table, like all these things about a shepherd. And then surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That's what a shepherd does. David was a shepherd before he was a king. David was a shepherd first in the middle of nowhere before he was brought in front of the people. And when he was by himself in the middle of nowhere and honing in his worshiping skills, he was also fighting monsters. He was protecting his sheep from bears and lions. So by the time we get to David with Goliath, his next monster, he's already got this backstory. I've been alone in the wilderness. I've been protecting mine. I have been worshiping God, and he has been with me. I have felt the presence in the middle of the cold nights, staring at the stars as I've protected my sheep. So when he gets to Goliath, he's built such a faith in himself. He doesn't see a giant and a little boy. He sees the God of heaven about to teach this giant a lesson. And that's where he's at when we get him with Goliath. But then one of the most remarkable things that I think is most telling about this man after God's own heart is it's in 1 Samuel chapter 30. It's when Saul is chasing him. Saul is chasing him, and he is without a home. And the Philistines have even kicked him out from their presence. And they won't even let David and his mighty men fight with him. And so he has to leave a battle that he's rejected not only by the Israelites and the Israeli king, he's rejected by the enemy. So he's rejected by everyone. And he goes back to Ziklag in 1 Psalm 30. And guess what? Ziklag's been burned down, and the Amalekites have stolen his wife, his 2 wives, and his children, and stolen all of his men's family. And so all of his men now want to hang him and stone him. And so now you've got David, the shepherd boy, the man after God's own heart. Israel don't want him. Philistines don't want him. And his own men are ready to stone him, ready to kill him, ready to hang him. What does he do in that moment? Come on now. He goes to what he knows, the presence of God. And he gets on his knees and he goes right back to God. This is what sets David apart. His love for the presence of God and God's favor on his life. He's willing to continue in his purpose. He's willing to face the monsters and live out his purpose because he loves God and he loves God's presence. This is what it is about David. He chooses his path when he's a young boy, and he gets so immersed in the presence and the favor of God that he's not turning back. So in 1 Samuel 30, he's rejected by everyone, and he ain't got nobody. And his family's been taken, and it's just him. And he goes to God, what do I do? So this is what I love about Psalm. Like, you're going to get a man at times that's very broken, a man that loves God, and a man at times he's trying to figure it out and trying to figure out his next step. And he's going to be dependent on God the whole time. All right. So the idea of who he was is all wrapped up into that, to pass. So if you look at the screen, the truly blessed and the happy life comes from delighting in God's word and walking in God's way and doing this continually. It's these 2 paths and understanding that there's 2 paths always before you that you could take. On any given day, there's 2 paths you could be taking. 2 paths set up. So what is it that you guys think you need to do in your life to focus on taking the right path? How do you get to the place in your life where you consistently begin to take the right path? Well, it's here in these verses. The second verse, you meditate, you contemplate, you give deep thought into, you focus your attention into God's advice, God's instruction. And the hard thing about doing that is, like, the world is on both sides trying to blare messages into your ears. The world is trying to feed you with what you should do. Wicked people and wicked ways are going to be before you. There's channels on day and night vying for your attention. And what you have to do is start delighting in God's word so much that you learn how to discipline yourself so you can focus on God's way and God's path. So you have to do some soul searching. You have to figure out if you're not walking on the right path, if you're not walking in the right way, you have to figure out why. But if you are trying, you have to solidify how to do that more and more. And how do you do that more and more? It's by jumping into God's word in the way that I'm thinking. Now, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to jump into God's word? This thing is trying to jump off of my ear. I should have let you put it on. I put it on myself today, and it was so hard. I like dropped it on myself through the shirt and everything. I'm like, Kevin did this for me 2 weeks ago. Never had a problem with it. Community. We need community, Kevin. Why? Why is this important? Why would you want to do that? Why? So, your love is going to have to drive these desires. This delight is going to have to be driven by love for God, right? Love for God. 1 John 4 says that he loved us first. We love him because he first loved us. So we need to understand, all right, love for God is going to have to drive my discipline for me to delight in God's word. That love happens when we understand God's love, who he is. It is God's kindness that brought me to repentance. It wasn't his beating and him holding me accountable for everything I did wrong that draws me to repentance. It is God's kindness and his faithfulness to me that draws me to repentance. As I walk out repentance and as I begin to follow him and obey him, I begin to know my Father more and more. It's almost like I'm in the wilderness with sheep under the stars, and I get to experience God for myself. All of a sudden, my love begins to grow more and more. I'm driven by a love for God and his love for me that I'm starting to understand, and it causes me to want to discipline myself to the point of, I'm going to cut off the TV. I'm going to put my phone down, and I'm going to cut on the fireplace, and I'm going to sit in silence and wait for my God to speak. And I'm going to let him know, hey, God, I'm here, and I feel like I've been failing. I feel like I've been failing this week. My flesh is just pulling me in the wrong path, the wrong directions. People are just trying to attack me. I've been rejected, God, but not only Saul, but now I can't even fight for the Philistines. My men don't trust me anymore. God, my wife, she's gone. I need to silence myself. I want to hear from you. So God, I'm listening. I'm going to be still. You guys get my mentality? Like pressing in to the presence of God so that you can begin to start to get on the same page with who he is and what he's doing. John Calvin said, true wisdom consists of this, knowledge of God and knowledge of man's self, knowledge of man. So who he is and who we are is very important for you to understand. And as you begin to study and meditate and contemplate on the Word of God, it's important to sit in those things. I would add a couple things more. I would say you need to understand your purpose and what you were created for. So that silence, you need to be asking God, what's my name? What's my job? What am I here for? None of you are here by some mere chance. All of you are here this morning by design, by a God who loves details. He's very administratively gifted. And he placed you here this morning. And for some reason, on this day in June in 2026, you get me. And this is what I'm going to do. I want to point you to the God who made the heavens and the earth and tell you to focus in on his word. Focus in on who he is and who you are in light of his word. And begin to understand your purpose and what monsters you're going to have to face. Another thing about David that's interesting, he gets off purpose. He gets off his path. He gets off his track that he has when he stops fighting. When he stops facing the monsters, when he stops shepherding his sheep and he gets comfortable in the palace, he falls. So I would say it's important for you to understand that about David as well. Understand your purpose. Understand the sheep that God has assigned under your care. Every single one of you, there should be something happening in your mind right now. Ruminate. Who are my sheep? Who are the people I'm responsible for that I'm supposed to be fighting for as a shepherd? And just think about that. I think that's helpful in some ways. We're running out of time, and I can't. There's a second service, and we got to do communion. Can we go to the next one? So, actually, we're going to go to slide. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. My computer froze. Can we go to the next slide? This one. All right. So this slide at the top left, if you weren't here last week, I'm sorry, but this is the application from the homework last week. So Pastor Chris preached on anointing last week, and he gave us some application in our homework. He asked for everyone to go home and daily take these scriptures and meditate on them and think about them. So that in itself is some type of application in the idea of meditating and thinking about Scripture day and night, like daily taking in Scripture and meditating on it. So those are the Scriptures that we were asked to meditate on last week. All right. How many of you guys were able to do that? Let's do this. I don't want to embarrass anyone. Everyone close your eyes. This is going to help me and Pastor Chris. So don't think judgment. Think helpful for Pastor Chris and I. Your eyes are closed. If you took these scriptures home last week and you did the homework assignment from the message on these verses last week, can you just raise your hand? All right, thank you. You guys can open your eyes. Appreciate it. So we're going to go to slide 6. So thinking through your response to Psalm 1, where we are asked to meditate day and night on the law of God to avoid the ungodly, the wicked. We want to continually be on the right path, right? So I have a picture of a compass there. A compass, one of the things about David is even when he messed up and made mistakes, he would repent and get on the right track. And if you're thinking about a compass always points north, he would point back to his true north. He would point back to where he needed to be. He would ultimately avoid wickedness, sinning, and perversity in that manner. So he wasn't perfect. He just got back on the right path. So on any given day, you can make a decision and get off the wrong path. But as soon as you, oh, Lord, I don't feel your spirit, or Lord, I need to repent. I know your word. And you do what you need to do to face it and get back in the right direction, on the right path. That's where meditating on these scriptures and the instructions and advice and the way of the Lord will be very helpful. It will help you get back on the right path and will help you be a little bit longer on that right path. And a lot of times your Christian walk, especially if you're new, guys, it may feel like up and down. But you want to get to the place where you're just gradually moving forward in an upward manner because you're following God's way and God's word. And when you need to say goodbye to a friend or a relationship or you need to just tell someone, I'm sorry, but right now, your advice, it's violating Scripture. Can I show you what I mean? Because I could be wrong. Let me show you what I mean. Like if you start taking that approach in the way you live independently, using your own thoughts, getting with God, meditating on His Word, and you making the best decisions that you can make in any given moment as the Spirit is leading you. And that's one of the things we get in John chapter 14, a Spirit that leads us into truth, and that is coming again from the love that we have for Jesus. If you love me, you would obey me, Jesus said. And so you're on the right path, and as you're doing that, the Lord is becoming more and more acquainted and involved with your journey. And if the Lord knows that you need to hear, you want to hear, and you're taking the time to hear, guess what? You're going to become more and more like David, and he's going to be like, wow, my servant Carly, that's someone who has my heart, represents my heart. She has a heart like mine. I'm going to show her more of my presence. And she's just going to walk on the path, the right path, and that's what it looks like. And as we're in community, even though it's your path, your decision, we help each other grow. Hey, bro, come on, man. Don't say that to that person, or don't do that, or please, hey, man, I think you're out of line. How many of you have been confronted by someone in the last 3 to 6 months that's in the church, and you had to repent and get right? Come on now. That's when church really begins to happen. Yeah. At first, it might be hard, but that's how iron sharpens iron. You know, I had someone meet me at my car not too long ago and said, hey, he prepped me, and then he said, it was out of line, and it was wrong. Even if he's wrong and I'm right in that moment, he's feeling something, so I need to be empathetic and move into that. Ultimately, I did apologize, because what he said was right, and I did make it right. And then boom, back on track, back on the right path. And that's how it is, the Lord's favor, the Lord's presence. As you meditate, take the time, figure out the right way, the righteous way. Righteous versus unrighteous. You all get to make your own decisions. You're adults. Hey. You all get to choose what your life looks like. But not all paths will lead you to God. David, at the beginning of his journey, he was stoking the fires of his love for God. God was with him as a shepherd. In the middle of his journey, when he was rejected by everyone, he was stoking the fire. He was putting the wood on. Sometimes he may have put some oil or gasoline on there, Rick. I don't know. He was stoking the fire. And at the end of his journey, he was still in love with the same God that he started with at the beginning of his journey, as he lived through this life that is this wonderful story we get to read about in Samuel. So God, with our VBS kids, is very a part of their story right now. God has been very a part of your story up until now. And someday you will stand before your Maker, and you will have to answer for the decisions you made and the paths you chose.